What's up, everybody? Walt, Flower City Cards here. This is actually video number 2 today. In between buildings right now, traveling between buildings for work, and again, just trying to film a little bit more consistently. Topic of today's video, prismatic evolutions. Prismatic evolutions. We are going into the fall of 2026. So come January, Prismatic Evolutions is 2 years old. And why do I want to talk about Prismatic Evolutions? Well, if you go on to TCG Player right now, I think Prismatic Evolutions ETBs, specifically the ETBs, are somewhere between 140 and 160 a piece. Personally, to be transparent, I have a little bit of a position in Prismatic. I have, I think, two ETB cases, and I have like 10 loose ETBs. So, you know, I have something. It's not a crazy large position by any means. And I think I have some loose packs that I've accumulated over the last year and a half at decent prices, right? And you know, I starting to kind of think about, you know, I'm sitting on some 151. I'm sitting on, you know, a little bit of Sword and Shield that might want to consider to begin to move, because they have, and I'm not saying all of it, and I'm not even saying like a large portion of it, but, you know, we're getting to the point now where it's like, it might not be next month, it might not be 3 months from now, it might not be 6 months from now, but eventually Prismatic is going to pop off. And just like most other things, just like 151 bundles did 3 to 6 months ago, I think it was like 6 months ago or more, but once momentum starts to shift and once the market perception of that product changes, things just tend to run. And I mean, is Prismatic a fun set to open? No, I absolutely hate opening Prismatic. It is one of the worst modern era experiences as far as opening packs go. It is god awful to open Prismatic. It does not feel good. I have opened a good amount of it, and I did not have a good time. And I'm not going to sit here and compare like what I'd rather do and what I'd rather not do, but man, it is not fun to open that set. And I think that is a factor moving forward. Now, gamblers are going to gamble. People are going to look at those chase cards. Eventually, those evolutions are going to continue to climb too, by the way. So keep that in mind, because that all plays into this, right? And it's a chicken and the egg thing, but eventually one of those two things are going to start happening before the other, whether that's the sealed product, the loose pack product, the singles. You know, there are people who, you know, analytical channels, some data scientists out there who are deep in this hobby that, you know, could probably give you a better prediction than I could of what will happen first. But at the end of the day, I don't really care, because I know that Prismatic will go on a run. It's going to happen. And I'm sitting here asking myself, like, why haven't you moved some of these products? Why haven't you moved some portion of your 151? Why haven't you moved some portion of like some of the Sword and Shield stuff? And I'm sitting here asking myself these questions, and it's a good question because I don't have a really good answer. And having some conversations with some other people, having some conversations with some others in the hobby who are far more successful than I am and have been around for longer than I have, they operate a little differently, right? They don't get greedy, they don't take profits, and part of it I don't think is greed. I think part of it is just laziness, or not even necessarily laziness, but I think for me personally, it's just the day-to-day of the business, the day-to-day of FCC, and the day-to-day of like trying to balance that with a whole bunch of other things that I have going on in my life on top of a full-time job. I think it's just it might be time, right? And this is as much a video for myself to get my thoughts out there as it is for you guys to start thinking about prismatic, because I think whenever that day comes, right, 1, 3, 6 months, a year, 18 months, those packs, those products, they are going to run, and they are going to run big. And when it happens, it might be a 50% move overnight. It might be a 100% move overnight, but it's going to happen. And, similar to 151, I think a lot of those gains are just going to happen. And if you're not in it, you're going to miss it. You're just going to miss it. You're going to snap a finger in a week, whenever the move starts, it's just going to move, and it's going to happen. And, I'm sitting here looking at one of our suppliers who has a large volume of prismatic ETBs, and I'm sitting here thinking to myself, like, is now the time? And, I'm feeling like it is. And you can't, as I always say, you can't time the market. You shouldn't try to time the market, because then you're playing with fire. But subjectively, prismatic is one of the top sets over the last 2 years, regardless of how shitty the pack opening experience is. If we just look at the chase cards, that set is one of the best sets. Evolutions will continue to do well as long as this hobby exists. And I think that those people who have the means of getting into the set and have not, I think we are already sort of toying with the opportunity being behind us. And I'm not trying to instill FOMO. I'm not saying like go max out a credit card. I'm not saying, sell Ascended Heroes or sell, I don't know, some other, don't sell, your Perfect Order Pitch Black Chaos Rising that you bought at a decent price to just go fund this. But you do have to kind of sit down, and you have to kind of look at your inventory, and you have to kind of look at, okay, over the next 6, 12, 18 months, what do I see in my inventory, in my list of products on paper that I believe will double the quickest, right? Basically make a prediction, and you have to put some thought into this, and you have to try to be as analytical as possible. But think about which products you think will double the quickest, and then if you're really convicted and you really feel like what you're laying down is really pointing in that direction, then maybe it's time to make some moves. Maybe it's time to move some of those products that have already kind of matured. And I'm not saying move everything, but I don't know. Right now it seems like, and we've been saying this for a little while, and I think the more and more and the longer and longer we go, the stronger and stronger this message has become, that prismatic is a play, man. Like, I look at Crown Zenith, I've got some loose packs of Crown Zenith. I don't really have much Crown Zenith. 151 at like $30 a pack. Oh boy. And then prismatic is somewhere around the $15 mark, I think. It's kind of crazy, guys. Like, there's a world where prismatic packs are $30 a pack. Like, it's just gonna happen. Like, $30 a pack, it's coming. And those people who continue to wait and continue to kind of hold off, myself included, we're just gonna miss the boat, because overnight it's gonna go up. The pack prices are gonna go up $5. They're gonna go up $10, and that's going to, and again, I don't know which is going to happen first. I don't know if it's going to be singles. I don't know if it's going to be the the loose packs. Probably not the loose packs, because I think the loose packs are weighable for God packs. So I think there's, I don't know about you guys, but if packs are searchable, like, I probably wouldn't be picking up a ton of loose packs of this stuff, especially when the outlet in the future will more than likely be like streamers or people ripping online. You know, there's always that fear. But yeah, guys, I just I feel like it's a good play, and I say this because I think for myself, I think that's what I'm going to be doing over the next month. In September, I think that's going to be my goal. I think my goal for September is going to be to pick up at least some amount of ETBs at a minimum, because I know that I have access to them right now. I don't know if I have to look at the pack price of bundles. I don't know if bundles make sense, but I think hearing some other people talk on the internet, it sounded like there may be another opportunity for bundles. So if we get another large drop of bundles, that'll probably be where I tend to, you know, I guess spend some of that money, or move some of that money over into. But I think until then, I think the ETBs is probably the best bet, because we've seen what happened with 151. And I mean, you look at the set value of 151, it's like, I think it's peanuts compared to prismatic evolutions, but I don't look at this stuff on a daily basis, and I don't even look at it on a monthly basis. And I probably should. I should start doing that, because I think the set value has a lot of tends to correlate pretty well, I think, with the individual pack price. So yeah, so over, you know, again, guys, over the next month or so, I think that's what I'm going to be doing. I think I'm going to be putting a little bit of funds into prismatic evolutions. I think you guys should consider doing the same. You should think about it. I'm telling you what I'm doing, but I think it's the best play right now. And again, I think I and a lot of other people on YouTube have probably made the same video more than a couple times at this point. But I mean, it's pretty crazy when you think about the strength of the set, and then you look at the pack price, and you look at the pack price compared to some of the specialty sets that have happened or been dropped in the past. I feel like we're in a screaming buy situation. So, you know, this is one of those classic, don't overthink it, guys. Just do not overthink it. If you have stuff that's matured and you have stuff that have, you know, the margin looks great, it might be time to move some of it. And I'm not saying move it all. Again, I'm going to reiterate that, because you can also shoot yourself in the foot, and, you know, nobody knows. You're trying to set yourself up for the most amount of upside with the least amount of downside risk. And opportunity cost is a big thing that people overlook. Big thing that people overlook. And you have to think about, you got to sit down and you got to lay out which of your products do you think, or which products on the open market right now that you can get in decent volume and that have decent liquidity, which ones are going to effectively double quickest. And also keep in mind that when they double, you have to kind of put a prediction on this. Is the liquidity still going to be there? You can't just say, oh, it's going to double from 2 to 400, but then when it gets to 400, it's like we're talking about, for example, let's talk about like 151 booster bundles. Let's put a nice solid number on it, $200 a booster bundle. It's like, do we really think at $360, $400 a booster bundle that it's going to be super liquid? It's like, probably not. So these are the things I've been toying with, guys. And again, I just wanted to kind of get some thoughts out there and hopefully point you guys and steer you guys in the right direction. But I definitely do want to hear your thoughts on this one. And you can even give me, you know, I would love to solicit your advice for me. You know, what are your thoughts on, you know, potentially moving some like 151 bundles, some Sword and Shield that's already kind of appreciated a good amount relative to my cost basis, like moving that into prismatic, you know? I guess, what are your thoughts? And you know, if you don't want to touch that, let me know below. Like, are you thinking about picking up prismatic, or like what are you focused on right now? If not prismatic, what are you focused on? Because I just don't see many other better plays right now. But that's all I got today, guys. Appreciate you guys listening as always, and I'll see you guys next time. See ya.